Some of you may remember a review I did last year on the Moza Mini S. That was a little gimbal that was made for smartphones only, and so I took it up to the valley and we got some pretty decent skateboarding footage out of it. Well, now Moza has sent me this little guy right here. This is the Mini P. This is essentially the second generation of the Mini S, except this gimbal can hold more than just your smartphone. The Mini P can actually hold up to 900 grams, which is just shy of 2 pounds. So naturally, I just had to put this Moza Mini P to the test. I fly 3 different devices on this bad boy, starting with my iPhone in the OtterBox case, the old throwback, my GoPro Hero 5 Black, and my slimmed down GH5 with a pancake lens. So this is actually pretty cool. Right here, I have my GH5 with a battery, 2 SD cards, and the Lumix 14mm f2.5 pancake lens, which I'm pretty sure is the smallest prime lens that Lumix make. And just for size reference, here goes the Tilta Nucleus Nano wheel and the Lumix 20mm f1.7 side by side with the 14mm 2.5 lens. Now this little GH5 package right here comes in at only 776 grams. And then I found this ultra slim IRND filter from Firecrest that weighs less than half a gram. By the way, for those of you that don't know, Firecrest literally make the best IRND filters that money can buy. I'm just gonna drop that right there. This little micro package right here will still give you about 124 grams of wiggle room when flying on the Moza Mini P gimbal. Here's why I think this is so cool. In the past, on freelance jobs, I have handed off my GH5 to a production assistant and had them shoot BTS for us. So now just knowing that I could hand them off my GH5 along with this Moza Mini P gimbal is pretty rad. This thing only takes a minute to balance. It has a really long battery life, up to 12 hours. It's super compact, folds down super slim. I could just throw it in my DP bag and away we go. All right, so now let's take a look at some footage that I captured on each device along with the Moza Mini P. First up is my iPhone with the OtterBox case.
Yeah, your heart is a sun and it shines as it opens.
Where your heart is a sun and it shines as it opens.
Yeah, your heart is a sun and it shines as it opens.
Where your heart is a sun.
Next up is the old throwback, my GoPro Hero 5 Black. Now this thing is like 4 generations old. It has no built-in image stabilization whatsoever. Let's check it out. Surprisingly to me, this little GoPro with the cage weighed less than my iPhone and OtterBox combo. Also, something else I want to point out here is look how fast you can set up each of these devices. It took me only a minute. That is super awesome when talking about gimbals. I love that it's so quick to balance. It practically balances itself, even with the GH5. Speaking of which, let's finally rock this GH5 and 14mm combo. Now, we all know that the GH5 already has amazing built-in camera image stabilization, but at the end of the day, IBIS still will never give you super smooth walking shots. So let's check that out right now. The little Mini P gimbal can do all the same stuff that the original first generation, the Mini S, can do, such as time lapse. You can do vertigo effect with your cell phone. You can do vortex or inception mode. You can control your phone and now your camera through the gimbal itself. And if you want to see more of that stuff and also how awesome the Moza Genie app works along with the camera and the gimbal, I highly recommend you check out my original video on the Mini S, links down below as always. For me, I'm not too hip on that that sort of stuff, like cell phone specific gimbals, what's most exciting to me about the Moza Mini P is that I now have a super compact, lightweight gimbal that I can actually use with my GH5, and it has a super quick setup time. And as long as I'm using Lumix lenses, I can either tap to focus or just plug a cable into the gimbal and control the camera through the gimbal itself. And that's all really cool to me, especially considering the way that I intend to use the Mini P. I'm just gonna hand it off to an assistant with that GH5 on it, and that person doesn't need any experience whatsoever to get really good footage out of that combo. Not to mention, now I can also get some crazy smooth footage out of that old GoPro. So I think I'm gonna hold on to this one. I definitely recommend it, and for the price, I mean, you really can't beat it. The fact that you can get almost 2 pounds on this thing is pretty rad. Especially for any of you that have smaller mirrorless cameras or maybe a tiny B cam, and you're looking for a super compact, lightweight gimbal with a super quick setup time, I say the Moza Mini P is definitely the way to go. Hey, if you're a fan of the channel and like to support, there's a couple different ways you can do that. The first and easiest way is to just hit that subscribe button and be sure to hit the bell so you get the latest videos as soon as they're dropped. But if you want to go above and beyond that and be a part of a daily filmmaking conversation, then I invite you to join the Dog Times community over on Patreon. That is where once a week I release an exclusive members-only video breaking down projects, talking gear, and sharing real-world experiences as a DIY indie filmmaker in Los Angeles. But my favorite part about the Patreon is the conversations happening over on Discord. That is where you will be connected with like-minded filmmakers and have instant access to learning ways to improve your own skills so you feel more confident about working on set as a professional. So welcome to the Dog Times community, and I'll chat with you soon.